All right, today we are talking politics. We do very well understand that yesterday most of the political aspirants began their journey to campaign and maybe looking for votes from Ugandans. A lot of different aspirants talk of His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, Robert Chagulanyi, and very many other aspirants started off their journey to different places. But of course, we cannot just overlook the period and just maybe just look at it and it passes. Different things happen, and today I will call this man an expert because he has been into politics for some time. He's our host of the Truth, Lies and Politics today, Timothy Nyangweso. He is going to be talking to us about what is he thinking about the political issues that are happening in our country and maybe all the activities that are going on. In his own words, we are so much privileged to have you, Mzee.
It's good to have you, and it's good to be here. But Siri Mzee, guni mpola mpola.
You know, Mzee is a title given to someone that is older than you.
Okay, but I hoped that the person would have some gray hair so that we start from there.
No. It's not that. So, our viewers, maybe they have seen you somewhere, but who is Nyangweso?
Timothy Nyangweso is a Christian, is a family man. I am very passionate about the leadership and governance of this country, not just this country, but the world over. Underneath all the noise of the politics that you see when people go to different places and people are excited, are you able to get the reality, the need that you have as an issue in your area, in Gulu, in Bara, in Pakwach, in Lira, in different areas that you're in? Are you able to listen to what you exactly need in that area? Or as young people, 75% of the population is young people. Are we able to know what we need and also articulate what we need properly to these candidates to be able to reach out to that? Or they're just telling us things that excite us. I am going to bring hospitals. I am going to make roads. And we are all there cheering and happy.
Just right there, Timothy. Truth, lies, and politics. Have you noticed some lies? Have you seen some truth in politics?
That's very true. You know, the trick about hosting that show is that I'm able to tell who is telling lies because I've done my research. I know what the numbers are. I know what the problems are. I move, I go to hospital, I do all these things. As in Bara, when Bobby was coming, I was able to see the fever that was there. I've been to different places that some of the candidates have been to, and to just have a feel of what people feel when they come there.
So, for starters, yesterday, almost every political party launched their campaigns.
Yes.
And in your own words, how do you make of the situation that was in different places?
Mainly, I focused on about 4 candidates. The rest are important, but I focused on 4. I focused on General Tumkunde, General Muntu, the President, the incumbent, Honorable Chagulanyi. Yeah, those are the 4 that I focused on because I wanted to be able to do a case study of their manifestos in the shows that proceed. It's interesting, they all say the same thing. They all talk about medical health, they all talk about education. There was something that differed with Honorable Chagulanyi when he talked about increasing pay. But as he was talking about it here, there was tear gas just right there in Mbara because I was there when it was happening. And imagine he had also a moment to just wipe his eyes of the tear gas. Reality was actually happening. But he also talked about the police officers. Another story that ran alongside the campaigns that was really touching was the police officers talking about their problems. Food, sleeping in unipods, and all these things. But also some of the statistics that some of the candidates gave, how unipods are dangerous and cause cancer. The president was giving the same old promises that he has been doing. So it was a little bit tricky to listen to some of these things. Nothing new.
Yeah, all right. Timothy, just if you are to compare the previous campaigns and these campaigns, because these adapt to be scientific campaigns, yes. Do you see any distinct difference in between what shows that these campaigns are scientific?
I think for me it's the numbers that are showing up for the campaigns, especially for the manifestos, the launches that were there. The numbers were very small. The president himself went to be able to do media talks. He was addressing people through different media platforms. And also 17 million Ugandans, it seems like Ugandans are less interested in this election than ever. I think the morale is just dipping even further. I predict that even the 17 million they talk about might not show up for elections. Yes, COVID has gone up. Yes, people are dying, but people are not interested anymore. If you look at the chart on social media, people seem to say, whoever leads, let him lead.
So do you think these scientific elections have been effective, or they are going to do something that is going to be credible?
I think for me, it's not really the scientific elections. It is the content that people are going to put out there. It gives them a bigger, I should say, a bigger base to talk to quite a number of Ugandans, because we have about 2.6 million on social media with smartphones, about 600 people, 600,000 people with phones. A big number has phones, radios, there are places it can't reach, but you can get the information. People want to feel the emotion of the campaigns. You come to me as my candidate, tell me what you're going to do. I ask you questions. That interaction is not going to be there.
Timothy, I think that only works for people that have been known. The likes, like now you said, you almost focused on the 4 candidates, but you did give an eye to the rest of the candidates, who are probably 7 or how many, because there are 11 candidates. 11. So, is it the same thing that might not happen to the rest of the people, getting to know about these other people, the John Katumbas, the Joseph Kabuletas? Will it be of good help for them to also reach their people?
It will be of good help. I think if the campaigns were normal, they would be reaching everywhere and people would know them. And I'm also going to still do a case study on them. I'm very excited about looking at John Katumba, because for me, his zeal, his passion to step out there, a 24-year-old, to show that potential, for me, it excites me. But I want to hear the content he has to put out there. I've had Joseph Kabuleta, has very good content. I've had Nancy Linda Kalembe, we have hosted her here on Spirit, and I've had her content. We have hosted Charles Romshana. We're not sure of what he's going to do, but he says he's still in the race. But when you look at the 4, because we'll go on to the rest, the 4, those are the ones that are known, that are out there to be able to get their message out there. And they already have a platform because they were part of NRM. But also the thing is, what people are asking is, minus Bobby Wine, the other 3 are generals in the army, have been in the NRM, were part of 1986 class. The question we're asking is, what are they presenting that is different from what the president is presenting? Minus what is they're presenting is, they were in that class. What has gotten them out of that class? If you are in P2B, why have you gone to P2C? And that's the question we're asking. Why are they out there, and do they represent the Ugandans? Have they had what hurts the Ugandans?
Maybe lastly, we've seen elections in the US, but we mostly speak African content here on the African Exclusive. But I'll pose a question for you, Timothy, as we wind up. The way you saw the US elections being conducted, do you think it is going to be the way elections here in Uganda are going to be conducted, or it's going to be different?
As both of us being media people, it's very difficult for you to be able to put it bluntly, but I think the media has to play a role of being objective. I think the media in the US was very subjective in the way it reported the news. They didn't give it balance. They pushed a lot of what Biden was saying. Especially some media houses really trashed on Trump and all these things. I really pray that all the 11 get an even ground to be able to express exactly what they want to do for Ugandans, because I'm hoping that this burden has been propelled by God for them to stand in this point in time. But the elections in the US, the media played a lot of room. It had a lot of influence, a lot of propaganda. It instigating a lot of violence in people and emotions and all these things. That is what is going to happen here if the media is not objective, especially if you're reporting about a news. Someone was telling me a story, and there was a caption of a snake grabbing a fish, and he said, the snake saves the fish. This is what the media is reporting. As in, we report the other side of the news that is really instigating. Someone is putting out leaflets on social media saying, put out pictures of police brutality. But you also forget that they live in uniports, their children are not studying. There was a police officer that was talking about their children between 18 and 25 are not going to high school because they can't afford taking their children to secondary school. How do you address such a problem? So for me, it's the issues that are really affecting Ugandans that need to be addressed, and the media to be objective.
All right, thank you so much, Timothy Nyangweso, for coming through and maybe highlighting on a few things that Ugandans need to understand. As we give you African entertainment, we cannot forget to also tell you what's happening in our country, because this is a season where each and every single person has to be on top of their feet to see what is happening, because the truth is lying in each and every single thing that we do. But thank you so much for being a part of the Chit Chat. I'll be heading back to King Wesley, Lady Bizo, and of course DJ Easy Samuel to take us through the rest of the hours of the African Exclusive. Keep it Spirit TV.